Now, let us see some important facts about commerce and trade. Commerce refers to all those activities which are necessary for bringing the goods from the place of production to the place of consumption. According to Evelyn Thomas, commercial operations deals with the buying and selling of goods, the exchange of commodities, and the contribution of finished product. Commerce includes not only trade but also the services such as transport, warehousing, packaging, insurance, banking, and sales promotion. These things are called auxiliaries to trade. That is, these things aids the trade activities. So these things are called auxiliaries to trade. Now let us see the auxiliaries of trade. First one is trade. What is trade? Trade is an essential part of commerce. So the buying and selling activities are denoted as trade. The trader is a middleman between the producer and the consumer. The trade can further be classified into internal trade and external trade, wholesale trade or retail trade. Then transportation. What do you mean by transportation? The medium which moves men and materials from one place to another is called transport. See, the point of production will be in one place and the consumption will be throughout the country. So through the various means of transport, the goods are being transferred to the hands of consumers. Next one is banking. We can't imagine nowadays that trade and commerce without the service of the banks. Banks provide funds needed for the smooth operation of the commercial and trading activities. So, business activities cannot be undertaken unless the funds are available for acquiring assets, purchasing raw materials, etc. Next one is insurance. As you all know, children, business involves a higher rate of risk. Once at all levels the risks are involved. That is, once the production during that production process also, and after the production is over, the finished products will be transported from one place to another, and at all stages any damage may happen to the commodities produced or the vehicles used or for the employees. So these things are being removed. These problems are being removed by the insurance. Once the goods and employees, even the human beings, those who are involved in those processes should have the insurance, and goods should also be insured. Then the losses may be reimbursed by this insurance companies. Next one is warehousing. See, when the production will be throughout the year, and consumption may be some particular seasons, means those products have to be kept safely in warehouses to reach the customers in time. So the time it is said that warehouses are producing time utility. Warehousing helps business firms to overcome the problem of storage and facilities the availability of goods when needed. Prices are thereby maintained at a reasonable level through continuous supply of goods. Now let us see the comparison between industry, commerce, and trade. So it is discussed under various headings. First, let's see the meaning of these three items. Industry means extraction, reproduction, conversion, and processing and construction of useful products. Whereas commerce, activities involving distribution of goods and services. Trade means purchase and sale of goods and services. Okay, what is the scope of these three things? The scope of industry consists of all activities involving conversion of materials, that is raw materials, and semi-finished products into finished products. Whereas commerce comprises trade and auxiliaries to trade. That is, the trade comprises exchange of goods and services. Then capital. Capital means what? How much money we must invest in these things. capital, generally a huge amount of capital is required for setting up a industry. But here, in commerce, for commercial activities, the need for capital is comparatively less. And for doing trade activities, small capital is needed to maintain stock and to grant credit. Then next, risk involved. Risk involved is usually high, as in the case of industry. Relatively less risk is involved in the commerce, and in the trade also the less risk is there. Side, it represents the supply side of the goods and services, whereas the commerce represents the demand side of the goods and services, whereas the trade represents both supply and demand. Then utility creation. What do I mean by utility creation? Means what is the usefulness of this utility creation? It creates, that is, the industry creates form utility by changing one form of the raw material or shape of materials. Whereas commerce creates place utility by moving the goods from producers to consumers, and trade creates possession utility through exchange.